Do you play video games as a way to cope with the stress of everyday life? Me too. I have a wonderful family and enjoy my job. But sometimes things don't always go as planned, and I get stressed. When I jump on my PC, I get to decompress, visit worlds only I could dream of, but some games work better than others. After a long day of work, the last thing I want is to get 360 no-scope by a sweat who hasn't touched grass in a month. That's why I tried Manor Lords. On this month's episode of What's That, we're talking about a game that makes hours seem to just fade away. Manor Lords is a medieval strategy game that focuses around building your city, forming your army, and fighting off raiders or other land-hungry lords. As a huge fan of the Total War games, I felt like this game brought a more zoomed-in scope for the medieval strategy genre. You aren't leading thousands of units in multiple provinces, you are in charge of your very own town and a few hundred people. The game is in early access, but it's still boasting an 87% very positive score on Steam. But why is this game so addictive? You start off with 5 families and some resources, and you must turn those minimal assets you have into a booming town. With farms, markets, blacksmiths, and more. The reason I believe I'm so addicted is the atmosphere. The small indie team Slavic Magic has created a beautiful world with dynamic weather and a populace that seems living. Raiders will steal food, season changes affect food and firewood storage, all the while trying to gain influence and become stronger to conquer or buy lands out from underneath other AI lords' noses. I believe they did a very good job of balancing progression. It's not an easy game to say the least, but it's not so hard as to come off unrealistic. Another thing this game does right is customization. From naming your lord to naming your town, you can make everything your own. The coolest feature is the customization of your shield or crest. As you can see here, your options are numerous. They also allow you to name people in your town along with the farm animals they take care of. The fighting and battles are scarce, but when they happen, they are gripping and nerve-wracking. The infantry are your people, unless you hire mercenaries, of course, but every person you lose on the battle is a member of your community. Tough decisions have to be made. Do I play aggressive and maybe lose a blacksmith or farmer? Or do I turtle up as an enemy lord becomes stronger? These tough decisions are what keep bringing me back. I am no expert at this game, to say the least. And although the tutorial has been revamped, I learned the most through my failures. I would also say the developers are working very hard at balancing and patching the problems in the game. Too many times I have bought an early access game and a few months later it seemed dead or big bugs still existed. The game still has its faults. Archers have been nerfed to the point to where I don't even use them. I love the historical feel of the game, but that part pulls me out of the immersion. Arrows and archers since the beginning of time have been nightmare fuel for opposing armies. There are also quite a few mechanics still blocked off from early access. Unit variation is minimal, but I heard cavalry will be eventually implemented. My final gripe is I wish the game was a little bit more transparent, or I found it easier to decipher the stats on the units. What does having a 2 in the charge stat even mean? What is the damage output on their charges? Things like this would make it easier to understand the mechanics in the battles. But besides these small issues, this game has been the game I go to when I want to play a single player game after a long day. I pop on my headphones, listen to some medieval bangers, and create my dream Manor. And for only $40, I would highly recommend Manor Lords, especially when the game launches into full release. If you want to see more content like this, please smash that like and subscribe. I'm trying to gear my content which is more appealing or appeasing to the ears and eyes of my viewers. Runtime, tempo, all of that may be different, but I want to make sure that it's the stuff that you want to see. throw down a comment on things that I can improve on. Those are critiques that I will not take for granted. Also, I want to appreciate the people commenting on games that they want to see me play in the future. Yes, Rust is in fact on the future playlist. God have mercy on my soul. On that note, I'm your self-proclaimed YouTube video game dad, not daddy, and have a wonderful day.